Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for February. Hope you're doing well. I do want to take a quick second to remind everyone that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Sagittarius out there. So guys, just take what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Please keep in mind that the energies can reverse. So if it is resonating for you, get in where you fit in. But as always, don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Sagittarius? All right. Sagittarius, you're starting out with Judgment. You have the Hermit in the reverse. And you have the Eight of Swords along with the Two of Swords reversed. Okay, so you're definitely trying to make some sort of a judgment call here. I feel like a lot of you might be trying to reconcile, or you want to reconcile with somebody. There's communication that's taking place with the Hermit in reverse. It's taken a while for this to occur. There's been a silence here that is being broken either by you or the other person. And I feel like you want to make a decision. I definitely see you're making a decision here. That decision comes about after a long period of feeling trapped up in your head, thinking about this, trying to figure it out. I see a lot of energy of, almost obsessively thinking about the situation, but we do see a decision that's being made here. So you're freeing yourself from all that anxiety. Let's see who's in your energy. I feel like you've been looking for answers and you found the answers you're looking for. Show me who is in Sagittarius energy. All right, we're starting out with the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands and the Ace of Wands. My goodness. So yeah, there's definitely a reconciliation happening here. It's going to be very passionate and it's going to be very solid. This person has been planning this for a minute. They would choose you over anyone. This person, it's a choice. You each are making a choice here. So for a few of you, this person could live at a distance, but they don't have to. I do feel, though, that this person definitely wants to be with you. You may have been a little ambivalent about that, but I feel like you're moving towards this person. So let's see the energy between Sagittarius and this person. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, it's a second chance. It's a second chance here. Maybe a chapter that you had thought this was never going to happen. This was never going to come about. But here it is. So let me see what's affecting this connection. Show me what's affecting this connection. Three of Wands. There's some waiting energy. There's some waiting energy, and it's because this person is planning. They're planning. They're planning something. I do feel like you're in communication with this person, though. And you may not have been for a while, but there's some waiting energy here. Let me see the outcome. And that would make a lot of sense if this person does live at a distance. Or they could be planning some kind of I don't know, elaborate new beginning. I don't know. But they're definitely in a planning stage. That's too many. Show me the outcome for Sagittarius and this person. Page of Cups. There it is. That's the new beginning. There's the new beginning. It could even come with an apology as well. For some of you, but that's the new beginning. All right, bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, that's outstanding. Everything is moving in your favor. That's the underlying energy. There's a cycle here that's closing out. It looks like it has to do with non-communication. This person looks like they're all in. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is Judgment here for Sagittarius? All right, we have the Six of Pentacles. And there, look at that. Ace of Pentacles, that's in their energy. Yeah, this is balancing out. This is coming back together. It's a second chance. It's a love affair that you thought was done. It was over, or a missed opportunity. You both have the Ace of Pentacles. You, by the way, are showing up here as somebody who uses good judgment. It looks like you're very good with money as well. And you're showing up as being very generous, very balanced. Why is the Hermit in reverse? Why is the Hermit in reverse? Yeah, so there was a lack of communication. Four of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. You felt left out in the cold. Either you felt that way, or you may have ghosted this person. There's some ghosting energy, so somebody got ghosted. But there was a lack of communication, a lack of talking. But during that time, you initially felt extremely hurt. You felt, abandoned, rejected. And then at some point you began to heal. You were searching for answers. You were looking deeper into everything. And I feel like, you found the answers that you were looking for. There was definitely a gap in the communication here, but we see then it looks like you may have been the one to reach out to this person. It took a while though. Let me see the bottom energy. Now it could have been them reaching out. At the end of the day, does it matter who reaches out, as long as, you wind up in a good place? Show me the bottom energy for Sagittarius. All right. We have the Eight of Coins. We have the Three of Wands reversed. And we have the Ten of Cups. Outstanding. So there was a delay. I see the delay. That's what's affected the connection. But here we see that delay ending. And it's ending with a decision to work on things. You've looked at all the details. You've tried to figure this all out. You found the answers you needed. And now that, you're no longer waiting. You made a decision to work this out, to work on this, to, find the happiness that you're going to have with this person. You're in a state, this decision has led you to a state of out of anxiety and into complete and absolute happiness. There is this energy of, seeing yourself as a couple, seeing yourself as a family. There is still some anxiety here about working this out, but I feel like you made a decision to stop waiting here. So I don't know if you reached out to this person or they did, but you definitely feel like, you both feel like this is a solid, stable new beginning. Let me look at their energy. Why is the Ace of Pentacles here for the person in Sagittarius energy? Capricorn energy. We have the Devil reversed. And we have the Ten of Wands reversed. This person's been working on themselves. If they had any kind of toxic behavior, they have addressed that. Excuse me. The air gets so dry in the winter. They want to work out all the problems, but they don't want to come in with a toxic energy. They don't want to deal with a toxic situation. They want something that is solid, something that is substantial. And you want the same thing. You're looking for something balanced and equal, an equal give and take. They're on the same page with you. So any problems that this person may have experienced with you, they have either been working it out themselves, or they want to work this out with you. And they're coming in a non-toxic way, which is really good, very refreshing. I love this reading so far because I deal with energy so much that are, rather toxic. And this looks so good so far. So let me see. Why is this Two of Wands here? Why is the Two of Wands here for the person in Sagittarius energy? All right, we have the Six of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. You could be dealing, I'm definitely seeing Capricorn energy for someone, but also I'm seeing Taurus and Virgo energy. This person wants to move this forward, away from any toxic energy, away from any kind of chaos that's been there. They're making plans to move towards you. Like I said, if they live at a distance, they're definitely coming towards you. This person is showing up as being somebody who is single and extremely independent. They felt a deep sense of loss in this connection. There was a deep sense of loss. And I do feel like if there was any kind of toxic energy here, this person has addressed that. That's where you'll, if that's your situation, that's where you're going to see this apology here. But I feel like what held them back, what made them wait for so long, was this energy of feeling loss. Yeah, feeling a deep sense of loss. And for you, you kind of pulled back. You had to heal because there was a feeling of rejection and abandonment. So they're coming towards you though, and they're on their way if they haven't already gotten there. They're single and they're independent. Let's see this Ace of Wands. They've been planning for a while how to move this forward. Page of Swords reversed and Temperance in reverse. Yeah, so their emotions are all over the place. They don't quite know how to approach you, Sagittarius. I do feel like for some of you, they're trying to surprise you. So this person, if they live at a distance, I would not be surprised if they did a pop-up. Because for somebody out there, this person is going to come in and surprise you. Their feelings are kind of up and down. There's still healing that needs to take place in the connection. They're a little unaware of how to go about doing that. So, and for some of you, they're not sure if you're going to accept what they have to offer here. Let's look at the energy between Sagittarius and this person. Page of Wands, Knight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so you never got past this person. You never got over this person. I do see you trying to make good judgment calls for yourself. And I do feel like you haven't been, you're not going to take the reins. You feel like this person needs to be the one to, you know, come in and rectify the situation. This person may have been unfaithful in the past because I do see that they've resolved some toxic energy. I do see them reaching out to you with this Page of Wands here. I also see, Sagittarius, you had the opportunity to be with other people and you didn't. If you did, you shut it down pretty quick. But for most of you, I don't even think you did. This person is going to be reaching out to you to try to resolve the problems, and they have been working on themselves. So it's going to be a little surprise, I think. Why is the Three of Wands here? Okay, Ten of Pentacles. There's the Judgment card. That's in your energy. And then we have the World. It's going to be a judgment call. You've been waiting for this reconciliation, though. You've been waiting, and it has taken a while. It has taken a very long time. I do feel like you felt like it was never going to happen. Like this was never going to happen. I do think that this person actually is going to be the one to reach out, though. It's this energy of them like maybe reaching out in a very small, almost flirtatious way. And then you do respond after a long period of not talking to this person. But you both felt a deep sense of loss here. You're trying to make sure that you're making a good judgment call. I see that. But this person wants to put an end to this cycle of loss. Yeah. And I feel like they've been planning this for a while. They've been wanting to do this for a while. But they were kind of waiting to actually pull the trigger on this. So it's good energy, though, and I do see a reconciliation happening. You both have been waiting for this. You both have been wanting this reconciliation. Let me see your outcome. show me the outcome for Sagittarius and this person. Three of Coins reversed. Nine of Swords reversed. And the King of Cups. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer energy. So, yeah, there's going to be an apology for a soul contract or some sort of contract that may have been broken. I do feel like, you know, this was a solid foundation that you had with this person at one time, and it crumbled. It literally crumbled. There's going to be an apology most likely for that, probably from this person. It's they're wanting to, you know, come in and resolve this, to heal this. They don't know if you're going to be open to that, Sagittarius. But I do feel like they're going to reach out. I do feel like there is a new beginning here. It takes them, because they're experiencing so much anxiety about reaching out to you, or whether or not this can actually come together. It's going to take them out of that anxiety. And in your energy, you still love this person. You see this person as happiness. So you both have had a lot of anxiety. You're mirroring each other quite a bit in this reading as well. And I do feel like even though you're a little worried about how this is going to turn out, and they are as well, I do feel like you're going to choose to work this out with this person. Yeah, this looks good. It definitely looks good. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. And that means that there's going to be a lot of communication back and forth as this begins to move in your favor. This is like the best reading I've done all week, Sagittarius, and it's definitely one of the best readings for you. So I'm really, really pleased with this. I hope this works out for you. And the indication is that it is. It's going to work out for you. You're showing up here as loving this person. You're going to be completely happy. It looks like the two of you are going to work this out. Let me see if there's any oracle message for you. Usually I take the bottom, but I feel like I should take the top. So let me... All right. Yeah, look at that. You have number 8, and it says, come together. I love that. Let's read that. Give me one moment. It says, love needs to be shared. Love needs to be expressed. Drawing the come together card is a sign that you're on the path to discover the nature of this emotion in all its forms of expression: romantic, familial, unconditional, spiritual. In each instance, there is another being involved. Love involves a give and take between you and a significant other, a relative, a friend, an animal, and/or spirit. This card assures you that love has come calling and seeks a partner in its dance. Know that you are cherished. Like a magnet, you're attracting love into your life. This is the time for harmonious, caring partnerships. And there you have it. This is a fabulous reading. It makes me want to be a Sagittarius right now. All right, I hope that this has been helpful for you. If you have resonated with this reading, Sagittarius, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hype the video so other Sagittarius, people can get this message. And until I see you in your next reading, Sagittarius, know that you are loved, and namaste.